What's goody boys, it's your boy Gilly. Today we'll be ranking the top 5 biggest mistakes I see people make when shipping out REP hauls. We'll be doing a tier list of the common 5 mistakes. If you guys have any questions about this, I've been buying hauls for about 7 years. Join the Discord, you can ask me and get answers from me the fastest way possible, or you can let me know in the comments. I've been running Reddits on this topic specifically, so I see the community's feedback 24/7. I see the most common problems, and I'm going over everything in this video. So drop a like if you want to see more tip videos. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, and it's an obvious one I've talked about a lot, so I'm just going to breeze over it, and that's shipping shoe boxes with your shoes. I'm putting this up at S tier. It is the worst mistake. It's not going to get you seized, but it's going to cost you so much money. Quick rule of thumb, if it's not a special box you're going to display, bin it off. If you're getting wallets or leather items, bags with boxes, get rid of them. If you're extremely worried about the shoe getting damaged, you can get shoe trees put in it for about $1, so it won't lose shape, and just don't vacuum seal your hauls. And that's just how you avoid damage. But S tier for the boxes, you're wasting so much money. It comes in a box already. Shipping already costs an arm and a leg. It's the quickest way to waste money. Shipping absolutely monster hauls. I'm talking 20 kilograms and up. I'm gonna put this one in A tier. It comes with a lot of risks. You're essentially putting all your eggs in one basket. That's pretty obvious. But when you ship hauls this large, depending on what country you're from, you miss out on all the good shipping lines that do not allow over 20 kilograms. So you could be waiting longer or paying a whole lot more because you're forced to use an expensive shipping line because it's your only option, or you're forced to go a sea freight that allows massive packages, but you're going to be waiting months for your drip. So this one, A tier. There is no reason you shouldn't be splitting your hauls up. Lower risk, lower cost, more options for shipping lines, and that allows you to pick from a wider range of shipping. And if something bad happens to one package, you didn't put all your eggs in one basket and you didn't blow your entire wallet on one haul. Split up the risk, especially if it's got expensive items in it. Using the wrong shipping lines. I'm going to encompass a lot of things into this, so bear with me. So for example, shipping watches through the wrong shipping line. You've blown all your money on the items in your haul and you pick the cheapest shipping line. I'm putting this one up at S tier. The line you pick can honestly predict the fate of if you get seized or you lose your package, or it takes 7 months to arrive. S tier. I say this in all my tutorial videos. Picking the cheapest line possible. Yes, it's cost effective, but it's not time effective, and the risks of your parcel getting lost dramatically increase. I'm talking about 2 lines, the sea freight or SAL. SAL just never used. It was good probably 5 years ago for Canada. I don't know why it's still an option. It's cheap. It's shitty. Don't use it. Sea freight, only good for certain items, big items, suitcases, room decor. It's not like you have an outfit planned and you need to fit ASAP. It can wait. With watches, certain lines to European countries bring a lot of risk, which I'll go over a little bit later in the video when I talk about the shipping lines. Rule of thumb for watches, ship separately to all your clothes, or just ship a minimal amount of clothes with it, and check on all the communities how people are shipping their expensive watches. For expensive items like watches, you want to make sure it clears customs the quickest possible because it's so much money. You want to make sure it has a lot of updates. You want to make sure the shipping line has accurate daily updates so you can see where your expensive watch is going. You didn't cheap out on the watch, do not cheap out on the shipping line. S tier, vital information. So the next mistake is not using corner protection, vacuum sealing, like the extra add-ons when you're shipping out a haul. Should you use them? What benefits do they have? Do they save hauls? Yes, in some certain cases. So I have had some hauls that if it's winter, it's pissing down with rain, I don't use corner protection, the cardboard box damn near erodes away. If you're noticing your hauls are coming with holes, damage, you've got expensive stuff in the haul, corner protection is valid. Now for vacuum sealing, people swear by this. I am a vacuum seal hater. It ruins clothes, it ruins shoes, it saves like 50 cents. So these little add-ons, it's case dependent, it's like $1, so I'ma put it A tier. It's not a mistake, but hey, if you got expensive items, it could cost you some money. I want to know if you guys use extra little add-ons to your hauls. Let me know in the comments. I do, because I ship a lot of expensive items, but if you don't got the money to waste, it's not necessary. For the most part, it won't ruin a haul. Now, not buying insurance on your hauls. I'm going to put this one in C tier. It's going to be a high C. Now, this ranking will be controversial, and it honestly depends on the value of your haul. If you can't justify losing this entire haul, spending $10 on insurance is well worth it. If you're shipping shitty items, they're budget, you're willing to risk it, C tier. But if it's an expensive haul, it's going to be higher up on the list, like A, I would say. Also, if you're in the US, I would say honestly right now, with all the laws coming into practice, I'm seeing ever before seen seizure rates going into the US in specific. EU for some areas has always been pretty high, so it's better to be safe than sorry. But for the US right now, just spend that little extra amount of money on your hard-earned haul. I'll keep this little bonus point short. US changed a lot of laws with China, so they're checking nearly every package to see if it's taxed correctly, declared correctly, shipped correctly, what's in the haul. They're checking damn near every parcel, so it goes without saying if you're in the US, it's a pretty vital tip, but everyone else, you can forget about it. I never buy insurance. I've never been seized using sugar goo. Excluding those two countries, you have no problem with insurance. Mistake number 5, it's going to be a double whammy. It's harassing the agent customer service about your tracking not updated. You're freaking out. You put it in my Reddit. You're asking the whole community. You're getting mass downvoted. Now your Reddit account's beyond repair. This is smooth brain activity. If you're new, you get a pass. This is going in... I'm putting it in A tier, not for the fact you're going to lose your haul, just for the fact it's annoying. Let me explain why. So if you used a line that says, like, for example, AU Express, or it's not labeled an actual carrier like EMS, you got to read the fine print. It says it doesn't update till it gets in your country. It doesn't have stable updates. If it says stuff about updates not being consistent, that's why you're not getting updates. Depending on the line, agent will have next to no information on your haul. I understand it's your first time. You're worried about your haul getting seized. It's not updating. You didn't read the fine print on the shipping line you're using. A lot of them, if it's not updating or it returns that red error in 17 track, it just means you picked a line that doesn't update till it gets in your country. Please do not harass agents. Do not harass other buyers. I understand you're worried, but just try not to do this. Before we get onto the shipping tier list, I'm going to go over some other quick rapid fire common questions from the community, things I see all the time. We're answering that right now. Can I ship restricted items with normal items? Depends on the agent. That's why I use Sugar Goo. You can ship absolutely anything with anything and it works. Some agents like Superbite have certain restricted lines, so you want to read that, but I just say don't bother. If you're going to buy REPs, why go through that headache when there's so many options out there of agents with no restrictions? The short answer is yes and no. It depends on the shipping line. If it's a line that doesn't allow brands and quote unquote restricted items, that's what you can't do. If you're going to mix, just use a line that allows all items, or just use an agent that has no restrictions so you eliminate that headache. How long does Rehearsal shipping take? Sugar Goo, it takes about 10 hours, depending on if you're in the Beijing working time zone. That's how you get the accurate price of your haul before you ship it out, so you're not overpaying, then getting refunded, or underpaying and then having to wait and paying more. If it's a new agent, it could take a lot longer. They have less workers. It depends on the agent, but Sugar Goo, it's about a day at most. My haul is 9 kilograms. Should I split it? This is a valid question because it's one I had when I first joined the community. What's like the most amount before you split it? Again, it comes down to the factor, what are you comfortable with shipping? If your haul's 10 kilograms, maybe split it into 2 5 kilograms. For you new guys that aren't willing to blow the bank and risk it all, I say 7.5 kilograms at the most. That's my rule of thumb. It's been my rule of thumb since the start. If you're an experienced buyer, there's no cap really on when to split a haul. It just comes down to personal preference and what you're comfortable with shipping out. An example, ship out the items you're desperate for first, save up some more money, ship the rest out. I ship usually around 15 kilograms in one box, about 20 items at max. Do not go off what I do. It's just what I'm comfortable with doing and losing. For most of you, 7.5 kilograms, I would split it, but there's no real like definitive risky weight. Is it safe to ship electronics with shoes? Yes and no. Use the right shipping line. This is paramount, especially for Australia. If you use a line that doesn't accept batteries and you have shoes in it, it doesn't get seized, it just gets returned. So you use a line like AU Express. Yes, you can mix electronics, but honestly, guys, just ask your customer service on Sugar Goo. I've got electronics. It might have batteries. What line should I use? They'll help you out. It's better to be safe than sorry with electronics. Does customs work on weekends? Actually, yeah, I was going to just flame this question. I do see it a lot. In China, their Chinese customs, if it's a Chinese holiday, those motherfuckers go on break for a month. They go skeleton crew. It's going to take longer. Honestly, for China, just look at their holidays and go off that. Sometimes in your country, shipping lines go on strike. The workers strike for weeks. That's really case dependent, but I'd say for this one, for the most part, yes, except certain holidays and strikes. So just read up on that if you're worried.